Karnage. You are a queer rapper.
Yes.
Talk to me about breaking into the music industry as somebody who identifies as a boy, presents as a femme, and rap is supposed to be, rap is gangster and about life, but it's also very homophobic and doesn't really allow space for somebody who presents the way that you do. So how have you managed to kick those doors down?
Do you know, it's so funny, like, I've just continued to be authentic to myself. I've just always done what I wanted to do and rapped about what I wanted to rap about. And it's so true that when you put yourself out there, the right people gravitate towards you. I feel like all the opportunities that I've gotten from doing music, the majority have been people coming to me and finding me and discovering me and wanting to give me a platform to have a voice, you know. So I just think it's about being persistent and consistent as well.
And consistent.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started, when you decided, like, I'm gonna... In fact, I've got two questions for you. How old were you when you decided to stop conforming as, like, dressing like what a boy should look like?
My mum used to dress me for like the longest time, to be honest. And I think until we was like, what, 10, 11?
Yeah.
And I think after she stopped dressing me, I just kind of gravitated towards tighter clothes. When I got older, I just wanted my hair longer, so we stopped doing extensions. And the extensions just got longer. I followed my mum nail shop and I'd get my eyebrows tinted, and then I started penciling them, then a bit of concealer. Then it just kind of like goes from there. Do you get what I mean? And then, you know, before I knew it, I was this. And
So what, by the end of secondary school, was you already...
No, I had waited until... By the end of secondary school, I had long hair. And my clothes were like slim fitting. That was about it. And then once I left and was in college, that's when I really started to develop my style, because my first day of college, I remember I had fishtail braids? Fishbone braids, and I think I was wearing like a semi-crop top, belly top, and then my tight jeans, and I went in there and I was out. Everyone knew I was gay, and yeah.
At what age did you start
I'd say
in music?
16, 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever used to write from a straight...
Never.
Never?
No. If I did it, I never mentioned women. I never mentioned she, females, anything like that. So if I was rapping from a straight perspective, it would have only been like anything but sex. Does that make sense?
Okay. And listen, college's lyrics...
It's all about sex, mainly.
I boop. I'm like pearl clutching. I'm just like, wow, but you know what? Like, I really respect it, because yet again, like, I feel like within rap, you're allowed to talk about bitches and hoes, and do you get what I mean?
They do it all the time.
But then women aren't allowed to talk about whatever sexual desires they have. Like, look at the controversy from WAP last year. Like,
but I still feel like they're given the platform and the voice to be able to say those things, whereas as a gay rapper, no one don't want to hear about two men having sex.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? And I feel like that is the problem, because straight rappers do it all the time, female rappers do it all the time. Why can gay men not talk their shit too? You know?
Here. What do you feel about Lil Nas then, and that whole controversy a couple of months ago with Call Me By Your Name?
I think that as creatives, you're gonna create what you want to create, and people are not always gonna understand your vision, right? But what the amazing thing about Lil Nas X is he has a platform to be able to tell those stories in the way that he wants to tell them, and it's going to change the industry whether people like it or not. You know, even like me coming out and doing music, when I came out, there was nobody doing it in the UK. Do you know what I mean?
Who are the UK queer rappers?
Me, my friend James, Carter, I know Keenan, Mr. Strange, Tash, yeah, T Breezy. You know, there's a lot of girls coming up.
But do you feel like do you feel like Lil Nas kind of like lifted the lid on everything now? So he's taking it to the extreme. So now it should be easier for young black queer rappers to come through.
This is the UK though. this is the UK, and I feel like in the UK, people are a bit more backwards than in America. I hate to say, but it's just the truth.
Okay.
You know, and that's why I feel like I was talking to my friend the other day about it. I want, because I'm going to do a house party for all the gay rappers. I ain't really told anybody, but that's what I'm going to do. Because I just want, when you see the UK and you see gay rappers from the UK, everyone knows each other and we're all tight and friendly with each other. Do you get what I mean? There ain't nothing. Because I even feel like in America, even though there are more gay rappers, it's still a bit scattered. Do you get what I mean? Whereas here, I feel like we're able to be closer to each other, to be connected.
Okay.
You know, everyone was down at Soho the other day and I wasn't there. I was getting FOMO bad. But
Was that when there was like a full-on rave going on in
everyone
Soho
was down
Square?
there. Everybody was there.
The sun is shining. Jonathan, I want to speak to you. Let me just grab this mic. Miss Jonathan. So you were saying earlier that you don't identify as he, him, she, her, or they, them.
Yeah.
You're just your own special. How do you navigate then through? How do you find navigating through life? Like, have you always felt like that from a little age? What's your journey with?
Yeah, it's just never really been like an issue for me. And like Darkwah was saying, like the times I struggle with it is like writing bios or writing about myself. It's like speaking to people. It doesn't faze me at all. But as soon as it's in writing, then it becomes like, I have to make a choice about this. And that's the thing that I don't like, that it limits.
It limits you.
Yeah.
What would you use in those situations?
I've literally done sentences where one is he, one is she, one is they, and then it just swaps between each one.
Make your mind up as you go along.
Yeah.
When you dress, how do you feel? How do you dress more feminine? Do you dress more masculine? I'm quite tiny anyway, so like I can't really wear boys' clothes. Only women's clothes fit me. But like I don't really wear like dresses or skirts or like traditionally seen as feminine clothes. Okay.
But I'll do like a big fancy shirt or a jumpsuit. Or like,
we love a jumpsuit.
Yeah, I love a jumpsuit.
I've met your mum.
You have. She always asks after you.
And your mum's one that, like, she's just a lovely, lovely lady. Like, do you know what I mean? And you'll bring her to like Circa Bar. She'll be there with all the gays. Growing up, will you give them the freedom to express yourself however you wanted to?
Like at home, I was.
Yeah.
I come from like a church family. My dad's ordained, and so sort of like outside of home, it was always like if I painted my nails, like it would have to be taken off before
you left the house
anywhere.
Okay.
But at home, it was fine. So I always had that like support there.
Did you get bullied at school or?
Sort of like. Again, just being like very small. I was like always the weedy kid. So it was more that than anything else.
Not to do with how you presented.
No, not really. No.
So you've just always has basically just been free to just be you.
Yeah, tried.
I love that. Omar. Oh, sorry. Shea.
It's fine, man.
Growing up in Leeds.
Awful.
Which is complete like. I suppose growing up in London, where did you grow up, Jonathan? Sorry.
Hampton, South West London.
Yeah, so growing up in London, I suppose we're used to seeing different types of people a lot more, whether it's race, size, colour, identity. But I feel like, where did you grow up in Leeds?
I grew up in Leeds in a mixed area. Both of my parents are mixed race, so one of them's half Pakistani and half Irish, and the other one is half Pakistani and half English. So that's always been two different pulls, because my white grandma on his side converted to Islam, so he's grown up Pakistani, and my mum's grown up white.
Okay.
And I grew up. I remember being little, like, and hanging out. I always hung out with girls. I love women. I think they're the superior gender. I'm obsessed with women. I'm a bit of a man hater in a sense. I am. I really am. Like when it comes to when you said writing bios and stuff. I always think, I want a date, and I can't. And I go on dating apps, and it's so hard. It's like, well, what pictures do I pick? Because do I pick my boy pictures, or do I pick my girl pictures, or do I pick both? Or it's so difficult. Wait, what was the question? It's high school.
How was growing up in Leeds for you?
It was really horrible. I've come from a mixed area, but my parents sent me to a white area to go to school because I thought I'd get a better education. So I was one of 3 non-white people. I had a really horrible hard time. My sister was rough, so everyone goes, you should have been the girl and she should have been the boy because she used to fight. And I was always really soft and nervous and quiet. And as I got older, and I guess around college started coming into myself, became louder, but I had a really horrible time. And I think that is one of the main reasons why I find group of white men really scary. You know how, like, there's memes and stuff, and a lot of it is, like, when, like, big ethnic groups come together in the media and, like, white people get nervous. I'm the exact opposite. And it's even when it comes to dating, I won't date a white male because I think they're so scary. So it's left, like, a proper damage.
So you've been traumatised growing up in Leeds?
Massively. And I've growing up with all white people, now when I look at my friends, I think I have maybe 1 or 2 white friends that are close.
But you're half white, technically.
Yeah, and I don't identify. And when someone asked me where I'm from, I said I'm Pakistani.
Okay.
And that's why when I picked my girl name, it was really important for me to pick an Asian name. So, because I look like a boy, I look like Mowgli as a boy. So I picked Shea, like the tiger, because I want to be like sassy, feline, sexy, even though that Shea in the Jungle Book is a male.
Yeah.
I named myself Shea because it was important for me to have a Indian Pakistani surname.